Chris. How are you, man?
Yo, Nathaniel, what's up, man? I'm doing well. Just woke up from a nap, not gonna lie. But other than that, I'm happy as ever.
That's great. Nice to have you on the podcast.
Thank
I've
you.
been looking forward to do this podcast with you. You were one of the first people I was watching on YouTube. I saw this guy with the glasses, very shy, introvert, talking about how he became a software developer. And I was like, is this even real? And to be honest, I was also thinking about what also came to my mind was like, I don't think this guy's gonna make it. I don't think he's gonna make it because it looks like he's just like giving it a try, and maybe he's
Yeah,
gonna give up someday. But
yeah,
every time I was like watching your video, you always proved me wrong. You
yeah.
always say, "Hey, look, I almost gave up, and then I'm back at it. I almost quit, but I'm here again."
Mm,
And that was such an inspiring those moments, such inspiring moments in my journey on becoming a software developer, because I was
mm.
watching you all the time. Whenever you posted a new video, I was like, okay, what does Chris has to say? And you were also one of those people who are very transparent when you
Mm,
talk when it comes to you like sharing your failures, your weaknesses,
yeah.
setbacks. And these are things people are not quite familiar with when it comes
Mm,
to software development, because you think that software developers are just people who are just always on top of the mountain, they know everything.
yeah,
And people who
yeah.
are do content creator, they don't talk about that much. But
Mm,
you are always very clear and very precise when you're talking about how you feel, the things you're scared about,
yeah.
imposter syndrome. And
Mm.
it's really it's amazing. So thank you very much for being my guest.
No, man. I mean, I'm glad to be on here, man. It's humbling to actually, I've never heard that perspective where you just assume that I would fail. Actually, I'm happy to hear that, because a lot of people wanted me to fail. I'm not gonna lie. The comments, I've made enemies on you. Like people, like I made enemies. Well, I didn't hate anyone, but people hated me for some reason, and people like there's literally a community of a Discord of people who all join it because they just want me to fail.
Yeah,
And
I
it's so funny because I'm doing the exact opposite of failing. So and the thing is, I always mention this other community all the time because it's so satisfying knowing that I'm proving them wrong. When people are hoping that I would fail and I'm doing the exact opposite, it's just so satisfying knowing that I'm proving them wrong.
hmm,
It's
yeah.
the best feeling ever.
Hmm.
I'm so thankful from being someone who shares not just the good parts of my life or teaching code, but sharing what I suck at, sharing my vulnerabilities.
Hmm.
It's allowed people that I know in life, and maybe even people I work with, maybe not, to unintentionally look down at me subconsciously. And you can tell by the way people talk to you, and it's true because the way I share, it's because of the way I share my vulnerabilities, and how what I show I'm weak at, and people don't always show that. And I think, yeah, that's a lot of people look down at me, but for me at the same time, I feel like it gives me a strength because now I can relate, or people can relate with me, because what I feel are things that everyone feels. The things I go through are things that everyone has gone through. So I'm more than happy to share these difficult things and vulnerabilities I have, because I know it's doing more good than harm. If I can help more people than what it can help with me and my career, I'm more than happy to do it, and I've been doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it just also show how honest you are, right? Just show,
Mm,
hey, look, I'm not here to sell you something.
yeah.
I'm not here to sell it. It's not like here on this side of the world, everything's just fine. On this
Hmm.
environment, everybody's just happy, everything just works well. But
Yeah.
you also very, hey, look, there's so many challenges, there's so many things to learn,
Yeah.
and you are going to experience that because I'm experiencing this too.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I'm really thankful for your content. So right now you've been in doing so many things. So
Yeah.
on the side,
Yeah.
and so from that guy who was like I already mentioned, very shy, and you now doing you're a web developer, you're into cybersecurity, you actually more doing as far as I know, developer relation engineer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and you doing you have some side hustles,
Yeah.
your um clothing,
Mm.
you doing podcast, you doing YouTube, you doing so many stuff.
Yeah.
And now that you hear, if you
Mm.
look back to your career, and you just kind of like look at like a retrospective and say, hey, look, how did I ever get here? I did
Mm.
like times where you just wake up early in the morning and you're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
How do you how do
Mm.
you how do you cope up with this idea that, oh look, I was this person like 4 years ago and now I'm here?
Yeah. That's a good question. Honestly, I'll tell you this. I know it sounds, and my brother's annoyed with this. Maybe my girlfriend too. But I don't know if my brother is. But everyone in my family, my mom, because these are the people I talk to the most. My mom, my girlfriend, my brother, right? Because my brother lives with me now. Um, and the one thing I always say is, I can't believe I'm here. And I don't say it to them on a daily basis, but I say it to them all the time. But I tell myself on a daily basis every night before I go to bed that I can't believe that I can't believe I'm in the position I'm in today, especially when I'm being paid as a developer. It makes no sense to me. Like, dude, yeah. 4 years ago, I was homeless, man. You know, 4 years ago, people were looking down on me, even my own family. Right. 4 years ago, everyone, I was just like all my other friends who were doing nothing with their life. Guess what? My friends are doing the exact same thing as they were 4 to 5 years ago. Now I'm the guy in the family where everyone looks at like I'm the pride of the family now. Oh, he's the most successful person in the family now. Right. Oh, he's becoming famous in the internet. Oh, look, he's getting known in the tech industry. Like my dad talks about me all the time on Facebook and all this stuff too, right? So it's funny, because I've noticed a lot of things, looking at where I'm at now and how people treat me differently because I have more money. And I hate that so much. Money shouldn't determine how people look at me. The only reason I share my money on social media isn't to get views. I mean, yeah, it gets views, which is nice. I like that. But it's never to show off either. It's to let people know that, dude, if someone like me went to special ed, someone like me who couldn't even speak well, who has a problem speaking in front of people can do this, anyone else can. And so, yeah, I think of that stuff all the time. And that's why I do what I do. And I'm not, one thing to mention too, people from colleagues to friends have told me, dude, you make the same stuff all the time. Why don't you change the topic? Why don't you try to talk about other stuff? Why can't don't you teach code? Why do you just share your life? Do something else. And I tell them, no, I'm never going to change that because I did YouTube not for the money. I did it because I want to, I want to help people. I want to inspire people, never to take money from people. And I still have that same goal today, which is to share my life and help people. That's it. Never changing my content. Sorry.
Great. And I think there's also kind of a lot of pressure that comes with being, let's say, famous, and being this guy who
I'm not famous. I don't think
yeah,
that
I
at
mean,
all. I'm not
I mean,
famous at all.
you have 80 over 80K subscribers, so you're kind of famous if you like it or not. But let's say the web developer development community can
Mhm.
actually, I think it's at least 1 out of 10 web developers out there would say, yeah, I've heard about this Christian guy.
Mm.
I that's what I would
Yeah.
that's what I would say. So I'm not quite sure if that's accurate, but especially people who are doing like who are looking forward uh, to dive into tech, who have another background, they've
Yeah.
most likely typed some kind of software self-taught software developer, and your videos are going to pop up.
If you type web
Including
developer, my
Facebook.
videos will pop up everywhere.
Yeah,
I did that on purpose, by the way.
yeah, yeah. So you're famous, kind of.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, yeah. So how do you deal with the pressure that people are always reaching out to you, looking for advice,
Man,
looking for that person who can give them the right words at the right time so that they don't fail, so
yeah.
that they have, like, let's say, hope and can move on. How do you deal with the pressure?
I don't necessarily feel pressure from that. You mean from subscribers? I don't feel any of that pressure because I did this to help people. That was literally the main reason, right? Because 4 to 5 years ago, I was like, wait, no one's doing this on YouTube. Share like people are teaching code tutorials. Everyone's doing that, and I'm like, but I don't care about tutorials on YouTube. I have Treehouse, so like, why doesn't someone just make videos about problems they're going through? Why is there no one on there? I need that, but no one's there. So I'm like, I'm gonna be that guy. So I made that go from the beginning. But I think not pressure, man. I think it's so hard to just respond to everyone that wants help now,
Hmm.
right? Especially comments on YouTube. My last two videos alone, like I think there's like I don't know. I'm assuming now it's like 900 comments I have to respond to. Uh, then DMs, and people are always telling me, "Why don't you respond to me on Twitter or Instagram?" And I'm like, "Man, I try to respond to as many people as possible." But now it's like I'm not big, or I don't see myself as being big whatsoever. But man, it is tough. So I guess that's the pressure I feel trying to respond to everyone, and I
Yeah.
can't because now I don't just do YouTube. I stream about like 14 hours a week. I have my own company. I have 7 employees under me now that I have to meet with. Now I'm not single. I have a girlfriend now, right? I have my brother, my dogs. It's tough. It's really tough now. But it's not. But I'm not trying to make an excuse. I really want to respond to everyone. That's the
Hmm.
best thing.
Yeah, that's I mean, I only have like 1.5K subscribers right now,
Hmm.
and I'm also struggling with replying or responding to comments.
Hmm.
And for example, if I don't like look into my YouTube content for a while, I see people writing comments, and I'm like, oh man, I need to reply because I want to help people, I want to inspire people, I want to encourage and like equip people.
Yeah.
And responding to comments is one of those little details, one of those little things that people actually, yeah, look
It's so important.
is so important, so important.
Very
And
important. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I'm really, yeah, I'm amazed that you're still looking forward to reply to people who have
Yeah.
over 900 comments. And yeah, because many people who are actually, after people reach a certain level or certain amount of
Mm,
subscribers, they
yeah.
stop replying to comments, they stop replying to anybody. And
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though. The last 3 months I did it because I was burned out from YouTube.
yeah.
I was burned out from just content creation. But maybe last 4 months. But the last month or so, a little bit longer, like my love for content creation, creating stuff has grown significantly. Now, what has helped with that though is that I hired my own editor. He edits my videos, edits my TikToks, he edits my podcasts. Now I have a designer. She edits my websites for my web development company, but I want to start getting her to help me with my thumbnails. So now all I do for my end with this team I just hired, like within the last 2 months, is just talk to the camera. All I do is just do podcasts, you know what I mean? Stream and think of the content to make, and I film. And that alone is still a lot because I still post stuff on TikTok, on all social media everywhere. So that's still a lot, but man, my load has lessened significantly. I used to stay up till 3 or 4 a.m. every day.
Mm.
Now I have my other people do that for me.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And in your videos, you also talk a lot about dealing with self-doubt, dealing with critics, and even toxic environment. Like you're working in a place where people
Mhm.
are like stabbing you in the back.
Yeah.
And so how have you been like dealing with these kind of things in the past?
You know, it's happened twice. Ironically, they're both at the same company. Two different jobs, right? My first company I worked for, right?
After boot camp?
I didn't go to boot camp. It was after just Treehouse. at my first job.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
I thought Treehouse was kind of like a online boot camp, right? Wasn't like,
What I did was just tutorials. I didn't pay for the boot camp, the
oh,
online
right.
boot camp they had. Yeah, it was just tutorials. Yeah. And then it was toxic. Not the company. The company was never toxic to me, but it was the people. An employee there that went to, like, let's say I'm just gonna make up a really fancy school, UCLA. Actually, more fancy than that, but I'm not gonna say the name of the school. And this person was getting a CS degree, and they couldn't understand why that company hired me. I got paid more than that person, and they hired me with only less than 3 months of experience as a developer. And so they always try to prove themselves that they were better than me. And that person was better than me. I just don't know why he had to prove it. Right now, 5 years later, I'm not the company, and I make way more than that person. And that person's still in school. You know what I mean? So people, that's I mean, that this is a way for me to, like, prove myself, like, all right, I did the right thing. I didn't need to go to college, because at that time, this person was making me feel like, why didn't I go to college? I wasted my time if I didn't go to college, right? And the second time, this is after I got laid off from entrepreneur. I worked for this company, a startup, and the CEO is the same CEO of that first company, but he made a new company. Now, the CEO is always amazing to me, but there was a person within the company, let's just call that person the manager, who was very toxic and would yell at me. The first time he did it, I let it go. I'm like, you know what? He's just stressed out. He has a lot on his plate. And then he did it to me again, but this time it was, this is during COVID. So this is during a Zoom call, and in front of 8 people, 9 people, he yelled at me, screamed at me.
Wow.
And I'm like, are you really talking to me like this? And I quit on the spot in front of everyone. Then he called me, say sorry. I said, no, I'm done. I already told the CEO I'm gone. And then he cursed at me again, saying, you know what your problem is? You don't listen, and all that stuff. He really toxic. So those are the 2 toxic people I've met in my life. 2 different people. But what's interesting is the first time I just had to deal with it because I was a junior developer. The second time, because I've experience, I just quit because I could get another job, which I did, aka New Relic, as a developer relations engineer. So yeah, same kind of situations, I guess, but different opportunities because I have more experience now than I used to.
Great, great. And you had a conversation with the person after this incident, or was it like, okay, after that, after he yelled at you, it was like everything was broken and you never had a conversation?
Never had a conversation with him again. He yelled at me again, right? On the phone. And the thing is, I've known the CEO longer than he has. And the CEO knows me. He knows that I'm not like that person to just quit like that. Because I promised that CEO, I'll be here for a year, minimum. But I had to quit. I'm not gonna let someone talk to me like that. There's no way I'm gonna stay through that. And so the CEO had me just work on side stuff instead, rather than working directly for the company. He still kept me, and I still talk to him to this day. He's always treated me well. He even helped me buy my car. He gave me money, use this as a down payment, and buy that car. Like, he's that nice. He's also that rich, you know. He's Christian too, so, and I'm Christian, and so yeah, in a different way, like as a people of faith too, he
Yeah.
respected me a lot, and I respected him.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And when this thing came up, when I watched your video, when you talk about this incident, I was thinking, was it about some technical issues? Was it because he thought you weren't like living up to the expectation, or was it just like personal thing? Maybe he didn't like, I don't know, didn't like your glasses, didn't like
Micromanagement.
micromanagement. All right.
Super. I felt micromanaged before, and I will. If I join a company, if this company does it, I'm gone. If another company I join in the future does it, I'm gone. I'll never deal with micromanagement ever again. People who say that they like micromanagement, dang, I feel bad, but I can't handle it. So it's because of that. Like literally, I'm following exactly as the design was finalized, and this person kept just trying to make changes and stuff, and I just didn't want to accept it. Like, I'm like, dude, like, I just couldn't handle it. And so, I mean, this is why I became a developer. So I never have to deal with micromanagement ever again. That's why I became a dev. So when I was going through it, I'm like, no, this is not making me happy. I don't want to make these videos on YouTube because now I'm being fake about how happy I am. I don't want this. So after being with the company for 2 months, I just left. Yeah.
Right. And then when you switched to another company, and Was it after the COVID? Was it shortly after COVID came? Then you lost your job, or
Yeah.
which company?
hmm
Yeah.
About 2 3 months ago. That was an entrepreneur.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you also mentioned that in your video and talk about
Best
like
thing that ever happened to me,
got
by the
laid
way.
off, got laid off, huh?
That was the best thing that ever
The
happened
best
to me.
thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, yeah. Can you give us some insight?
Mhm.
What you mean by the best thing that ever happened to you?
Yeah, man. After getting laid off, my perspective in just the world, like, excuse me. After getting laid off, my perspective in the world or in life in general changed. Where okay, in the company, people will see me just as a number, right? Right. Then that's what we all are. No matter how much you think a company cares about you, at the end of the day, they care about themselves more, and they have to survive. That's not their fault. That's business, right? Like I just left a client that was paying me about 80K a year. Guess what? I have a team of 7, and that was paying all their salaries. Now I'm paying them out of my pocket, but I don't want to let them go because I don't ever want to treat them just like a number the way I was treated, right? But anyway, so after that happened to me, I realized, okay, I need to do something. I don't ever want to be left. I don't ever want to feel vulnerable, left stuck like this ever again after getting laid off. So I decided I'm gonna start my own business. Uh, and man, that has done wonders for me. Because I got laid off, I realized that at the end of the day, the company won't look after you the most. You have to look after yourself the most. So I got a new job, like within, so funny, literally like 3 days after getting laid off. And then my business, it wasn't doing well yet because I just started it. But ever since then, I went from making 70K a year at entrepreneur to making $270,000 a year in total with my business, my new job, YouTube, all my different sources of income. Uh, now that's insane, and this happened because I got laid off, and because I got laid off, I'm gonna tell you this: I would have remained at the company because I was so comfortable. I would have stayed there for like the next 5 or 10 years because it's so comfortable. But because I got laid off, guess what? I was no longer comfortable. I was uncomfortable, and that forced me to get a new job. And my new job paid more than double what I earned as an entrepreneur. So one thing that I learned from that too was that it's important to remain loyal to the company, but at the end of the day, remain loyal to yourself. They don't care if you make more money or not. I mean, if you get a new job, they don't care. But man, like you have to do that to yourself. I think people remain at the same company for too long. Like my very first developer job, guess what? Exact same developers, exact same manager. No one left. No one got a new job. They're all still there. I'm not judging them at all. At all. I mean, that's their choice. But for me, it's like, dang, I would have stayed there too if I didn't work an entrepreneur. But that means I would have still been making only 45K a year.
Mm.
Right. I have to believe in myself. I have to take risks. And I've been doing that ever since. I failed a lot since then, but I think the small successes I've had have been huge for me.
All right, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And now, how did you came up with this clothing thing, your self branding clothing?
Yeah. It's funny because I made developer branded clothing because I was tired of buying expensive shirts. Like, dude, um, buying a $30, like buying a $70 shirt of like what Nike or Adidas, like made no sense to me. So I wanted to create something that it was honestly just for myself, man. I wanted to create clothes that I want to wear for myself, and the fact that so many people wanted to wear those clothes too blew my mind. It makes no sense to me. Like I'm going to make a house tour soon. My closet, except like my pants, so jogging pants are all from Alpha Elite, Efficient Guzman. Heck yeah, it's all my shirts and hoodies everywhere. I have like 50 of them in my closet right now. I wear the same shirt every day. Not this like fabric, but I have the same shirt everywhere. I love it.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you're also into cybersecurity recently.
Yeah.
I remember when you when I first saw the video, you talking about cybersecurity, like, what is this guy up to now? So because cybersecurity, I think you do like zero coding. So
Zero code.
I know people who are in cybersecurity and they don't code at
Zero
all.
code. Yeah.
And
Mainly like just all Linux, command line, all that stuff. Yeah.
how do you why do you decide to like
Mm.
start this new journey in cybersecurity?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I got bored of front end development. Front end development's cool, right? Oh, I have the same cup, by the way. Front end development is fun. I like it. But I get bored really easy. I get bored very easily. Like there's a reason I haven't stayed at the same company for a long time. Because I get bored. And I want to try something different. And I'm not gonna lie, cybersecurity is 10 times more fun than front end development. At least for me. Now, for me, I've learned a lot of different languages, so learning new things isn't that difficult for me, right? Compared to at first. So I already know how the internet kind of works and code, web development, and all that. But wow, when you learn cybersecurity, one thing you have to really know well is how everything about the internet works, how computers work, from Mac OSs to Linux to Windows to how to protect yourself to how people hack you. Like so many different tools on how people do that. It is so fun to learn. So I feel like just in general, because I know what development well, and because I'm diving in cybersecurity and learning about how the internet works, it makes me a better developer in general. So I think everyone should dive even a little bit into it, honestly. And I'm not gonna lie, because I'm enjoying it so much, I'm considering diving into cybersecurity space as a business owner too. So I would love to jump into that too.
Oh wow! So do you want to give us some insight about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about it yet, right? But I'm making friends in the cybersec space now. And I'm gonna ask them questions to how they run their business. How does these work with getting clients? I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know yet. But the thing is, I never know what I'm doing when it comes to any of my business. I just do it.
Hmm.
And I think that's how it usually should go. Because if you wait until you know everything, you'll never start.
Yeah, I fully understand what you're trying to get with that.
Yeah.
Because if I was still thinking about, okay, let me get my stuff together, and then I'm gonna start doing podcasts, I'm doing YouTube, I wouldn't have started till today.
Yeah.
I mean, I started in the beginning of 2020, and I was always like postponing and thinking about, oh, one day I'm gonna start. I'm gonna wait first until I become like a mid-level or at
Yeah.
least maybe even a senior developer, and then
You lost
I'm
so
gonna
much
start.
time.
So, but I started
You would
like,
have lost so much opportunity if you did that. So
yeah,
good thing you didn't. Yeah.
cool. And
Oh, by the way, is that sweater from Banana Republic?
no, I it's
Oh, okay. I have the same sweater too. It doesn't look as good as me though. I'm a little heavy. So
so cybersecurity is something you can imagine doing like full time, if
I would like to, but no,
all
because it will not pay me as well as I'm paid now.
right, okay.
Because I have close to 5 years of experience as a front end developer, I would be a junior cybersec analyst. And that would probably only pay me like 90K a year. And I do not want to drop down that much.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm close to double that now, just as as an engineer right now. So now, if a company's willing to pay me maybe 130 starting off, I don't mind dropping my salary by that much, but that'll be tough.
All right. But if you could like um go back to the beginning of your career and you had security and web development, would you
No,
pick cyber security? No.
no,
All right.
front development. Yeah,
All right.
more job opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And now you're into developer relation engineering or
Hmm.
engineer.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like, what exactly do you do as an
Yeah.
developer relation engineer?
You know what? This is a very small space, developer relations. It's like it transitions. So it went from like developer evangelist, then there's a developer evangelist and developer advocate. Then developer advocate has been changed to developer relations, uh, and it's very small space. It's a close knit group. I feel very lucky because now that I have a job in this space, I can see myself doing developer relations for the rest of my career. Now, one thing to note is the way that we're doing developer relations at New Relic compared to other companies is very different. Very different. Our goal is to educate, right? Not just teach the New Relic product. That's not my job at all, except when I'm on a New Relic Twitch channel or when I speak at conferences. But even when I speak at conferences, My job isn't to speak at New Relic. My job is to speak what I want to speak about. When I stream, they're paying me to be a full-time streamer. I remember literally talking to the chief marketing officer. I'm like, what do you want me to do in this job? Like, you literally just want me to stream and make content on my YouTube channel as if I don't work for you. And they said, yes. I'm like, and the way they're paying me, I'm paid more than principal engineers, principal front-end developers that work for Microsoft. At least from what I saw on Glassdoor, right? It's insane. And like it makes no sense to me. But it also makes sense now too, because when I saw the results of how many people signed up at New Relic, how many people created accounts to use them, it's a lot. And so our goal is just to build our own brand in the internet and educate people to learn online and be vulnerable and make mistakes in front of the whole world to see. Dude, I'm paid to learn code. I'm being paid as if they're my sponsor to upload YouTube videos. That's why I'm able to hire my own editors and help me now to do podcasts and to travel the world for free. So I'm being paid to travel the world for free to speak at conferences everywhere. Amazing. For free. And then I would be given a credit card to use at those places to eat out and to treat people out at those events. Like, yo, you want to go to, I mean, I'm not even going to go club, but let's say, you want to go club, let's go. The drinks are on me. I mean, I don't drink at all, so I wouldn't do that. But yo, you know what? Let's go to dinner. Take 10 people out to dinner from the conference. Random people I just met. That's the business tax write-off. The company would pay for that dinner. Like, right. Dude, like, and for me, like one of the main reasons I joined the company, yes, I can continue making YouTube videos at as a full-time YouTuber now, but now I get to grow my brand as a speaker at conferences. I want to be the Gary Vee of speaking at developer conferences. I don't know how, but that's my goal. That's my next goal in life. So, but yeah, what I just told you, that's what I do.
No,
but not many other. I don't know any other developer relations teams that do that.
Are you the only person in the company that do this? That do the developer relations thing?
No, there's 10 of us in my team.
All right.
10 developer relations engineers. I'm a mid-level developer relations engineer. There's 2 juniors. There's like 4 seniors and 2 principal developers.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So if there's a possibility for you to like travel to Germany and do some kind of events, just let me know.
I'll thank you, man. I mean, I'm posting everything on Twitter. And we can start speaking at events, dude. I can't wait because I will hire another video editor if my video editor other one doesn't want to come with me to literally follow me around the world as a speaker at conferences. And I told my girlfriend that too. I told her, yo, I'm gonna travel the world. I want to let you know that I'm gonna be very busy. But whenever I'm home, I'll make sure I spend a lot of time with you. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have an video editor, to just film me everywhere. I'm gonna buy like 2 or 3 more cameras from the use to follow me and just make super sick traveling vlogs as a speaker. This could be so sick. I can't wait.
And I think you can wait till this old COVID thing's over and then you can start traveling again.
And yeah, dude, because I can't wait to watch in movie theaters again. I miss movie theaters so bad. There's no good movies that are ever out now, you know? It's all Netflix for me now. So yeah. I can't wait for that.
Right. Yeah. So considering the fact that you are doing so many things on the side right now, doing a podcast, YouTube, developer relations, cybersecurity, your side hustle with Dev Life Clothing.
Yeah.
Are you kind of worried that you might lose some of your software development or web development skills? Because software development, you have to stay in touch with the, let's say, with the tools you're working with the project you're working on. If not, you can actually lose track pretty fast. At least that's for me. Even after Friday, on Friday I'm still right on fire. I know exactly what I'm doing. Then after the weekend, when I'm back on work on Monday, I'm like, okay, what was I doing again last week? It's like teaching myself from the beginning again. So are you like worried or concerned about that?
That's a really good question. Yes and no. Yes, because that's nice. I mean, fixing bugs from assigned tickets in Jira. That's cool. Fixing a lot of code is fun, right? Solving problems is fun. But at the same time, I don't miss it because that stuff has become redundant to me, like boring. I was getting burned out when I was working entrepreneur. It just wasn't fun to me no more, right? I get bored very, very easily. Like it's crazy, but very easily. And so at the same time, I'm not scared because I personally, as a business owner, I make good money. I could survive just off my business now, right? So no, because I personally, hopefully this doesn't happen. If it doesn't, it does. I never want to go back to just completing tickets on a daily basis. Oh, I completed 7 tickets today. Oh, I completed 10 tickets by the end of the week. Yay! That's very boring to me. It's not exciting to me. So for me, now the cool thing about being in developer relations and my job is to learn code and build things online for fun. Uh, Not many people can say that. So I'm learning how to build things online. So guess what? I'm actually getting better as a developer. I'm learning cybersecurity. I'm learning more about how the internet works. I'm relearning vanilla JavaScript and diving more into to React JS now. And I'll be better. I feel like it's gonna make me even way better because I know how to learn code. I know what I need to do to make sure I get good in a particular language. And so no, not at all, man.
Yeah, that's you mentioned there's something you mentioned that actually I noticed that you said you know how to learn code.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually the thing that's very extremely important. That even if you don't do coding for a year,
Mm-hmm.
you still know how to learn code. You know which concepts, you know which things, which fundamentals you should focus on before you can catch up with the things you forgot
Yep.
really fast. So that's really important.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in your you mentioned that you don't feel like a senior developer because
Mm-hmm.
after 4 or 5 years in software development, let's say at least on paper, you might be considered a senior developer. And in some of your videos, you also mentioned you don't feel like a senior developer. And so
Yeah.
people might be watching and be confused. And it's like, okay, what is this
Why
guy
not?
trying? What was he? Because I also have people looking into my I don't LinkedIn profile or reaching
Mhm.
out to me and seeing what I'm doing at work and then say like, hey, look, Nathaniel, you're a junior. You know so much. You
Yeah.
definitely are a junior. But I so in my mind, I still feel like yeah, I'm still a junior. So how
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, man. I should be a better developer right now. I'm not because I did one thing that I focused on more than learning code. To be frank, the last 4 to 5 years, I learned code only on the job. I stopped learning code outside of work. Right. So, but why? Because I was more focused on growing my brand as Chris Sean than having a title added to my name. Ironically, though, enough that has helped boost my career like crazy. Because now it's not just like, all right, what can you build? It's how can you fit in my company? How can you actually help grow the culture, which is more important now than ever? Grow a strong culture at a company. Are you really who you are? Are you really who you say you are when we interview you? Yeah, I am. Look at my videos. Everything I told you, my personality exactly the same. Check it out. So yeah, so that's why I focus more on growing my brand, making good content than being a better developer. I, I regret it in some ways, but also don't because fortunately I make more than the average developer now just because I did that. And it's not just because I'm paid well as a developer, but because of my YouTube, my side income. And I feel like I set up my brand to last for life. And I'm so lucky. I would take that over being a senior developer, principal developer, anything. And I'll be a senior developer eventually. I just don't consider myself to be one because I just I'm not skilled enough. I wouldn't say that. I'm not a junior no more. That's for sure. No way, Jose. But mid level. I would say close to being senior, maybe, but we'll see.
Great, thank you. All right, people, that was Chris Sean. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Bye.